Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different musical, video and audio elements of the videos that I watch. And today I am starting a new theme month. This one's a little different. Usually for a theme month I do 2 videos a week. I can't do that this month, I'm a little too busy, but I had an idea cooking in the back of my mind for a while and I decided I wanted to take a crack at it. And it's a good time to do it because it's a slightly more limited number of videos, at least that I have planned, and that is a reactor month. I'm going to be reacting to music that has been put out there by other reactors. Just kind of seemed like a bit of fun. This is a really cool little community that I've become a part of. There's some awesome people in it. Some I've spoken to, I have some limited contact with, and some I haven't. And this is mostly going to be people I have spoken to over the course of April, but I just thought that would be a really fun thing to do. And we're going to start off with Jennifer Glatzhofer and her song Last One on My Mind. And Jennifer, I guess I kind of slightly worked with. Not really. That's pushing the boundaries, I think, a little bit. But I worked on the Voice Play project's tribute video that we put together, recreating their Just Sing video, and Jennifer was one of the singers. So I have edited her voice into a mix and edited her video into a video. So I guess in that sense I've done a little bit. And the same is true of one other person who's going to come up later this month as well. But yes, starting with Jennifer, and I'm very, very excited for this because I've seen clips of her music, and I've never actually stopped and listened to something because I've known for a while I wanted to do this at some point. And so I didn't know what song I was going to end up doing. So I've kind of, as I do with a lot of artists these days, I've gone, oh, that sounds fun. I'm not going to listen to it for a while, which is a weird way to think. But that's, you know, what happens when you do this. If you think you're going to cover something, you can't listen to it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I don't have much to say about it. It's an original song by Jennifer, and I believe may have been co-written with Ian Iredale, who kind of does a lot of work with her. This was put out onto YouTube in November of last year, November 2024. So it's relatively new, and I'm really excited to see what Jennifer puts forward. I love her voice. It's going to be exciting to hear a full song of hers, and especially in this context where I get to sort of sit there and really kind of delve into it and see what she's doing. Not with her level of vocal understanding. If you're here, I'm not a vocal singing teacher. I don't have that depth of understanding of what voices are doing. My reactions are different. They're more about arrangement, lighting choices. I might comment on the choice to sing this vowel here rather than that vowel there. I say that just because if some of Jennifer's audience has come over to watch this video, don't go expecting the level of depth that she's able to go into on the voice, because I don't have that skill set. But yeah, so I think that's about all I have to say. So I'm going to say welcome back to my channel, and welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, please understand how I work. It's a little different to some. I'm going to watch this whole video through from beginning to end. I will comment an emote over the top, but I will then go back and watch it a second time, and this time I will be interrupting and pausing the video and offering what commentary and analysis I feel I can based on what I've just seen and heard and the foreknowledge of that one prior viewing. Would love it if you would hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you'd care to, you can support my channel by going over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or by leaving a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those would be very, very gratefully received. Of course, no pressure. Please also check the description down below for a link to this song and go and support Jennifer. She is a remarkable vocalist, and for at least from the little bits I've been able to listen to, and also a fantastic reactor whose work I really enjoy watching. So do go and support her as well. I do also want to quickly say thank you to a couple of folks. Give me 2 seconds just to pull up my list. I would like to say thank you to Holly, who contributed to my wishlist item on my Buy Me a Coffee. Also to Alejandra Walker, who bought me some coffees. And I would also like to say thank you to Pamela Rosales, who has joined my Patreon community. Thank you for becoming one of my patrons. I really, really appreciate that. That's everything. So without any further delay, let's jump in and see what Jennifer does when she gets to write a song and sing it. I'm super excited for this. Ooh, that's a cool sound to start with.
The first to fall
I like this.
I'm tired of tears. I'm tired of rain. My calls echo the sound of pain.
Ooh.
Last one
Nice
on
chord
your
shift.
mind. After all is done, before darkness comes, the last one on your mind. There's no reason to forget all we've been through. There's nowhere else.
It's a nice kind of chill vibe to the music. I like this. The editing's really fun too. Nice choice to go simpler on the music. She's got a great connection in her voice. I feel very connected to what she's singing. I really like it. There's something about this that kind of carries a lot of meaning in different layers, and I'm enjoying that a lot. It's kind of, sorry, I was quiet there. I was thinking a lot about the combination of the lyrics and the music. That's a really, I like the sequence of that bridge. Yes. Oh, I love the little subtle changes in the melody there. Yes. Yes. Woo! Yes, Jen. That's awesome. That's a really cool song. I like that. Oh, I like the album cover too. That's awesome. I like that a lot. There's a really cool vibe to it. I think I'm not normally a fan of fade out endings, but I actually really like that because there was always stuff evolving, like the guitar solos in the background. There was always something to listen to as it was moving, and so I don't mind it so much. It's when you just get something that repeats and repeats and repeats and fades away. That's what I really don't like. That was very cool. I think it was a nice choice for this, kind of having that sort of drifting element leading out of the song. Very, very cool. I just want to check the description to see what's what down there, and I shall be right back. Okay, so as I suspected, written by Jen and Ian. Jen did the backing vocals as well. I had a feeling it was probably her, but wanted to check. Ian did guitars, bass, and the keys as well, which is cool. And then David Lurie on the drums. Really, really lovely combination there. What I think I enjoyed about this so much was I feel like it had the vibe of a contemporary song, but it also gave me a strong kind of retro vibe as well. The sounds that Ian had chosen on the guitar, that keys opening. There's a lot of different styles kind of mixed in together here, which I really, really like. It lends itself very, very well to the nature of the song. I think the way the backing vocals are mixed in as well. Mixing and mastering, also very important. John Martindale and David Archer, just because they were there, credits to them as well. But it's a really, really nice blend, and it's kind of giving me... I'm not sure exactly who it's giving me, but it's giving me a variety of different styles, both in terms of the vocals and in terms of the instrumentation. But regardless, I really, really like it, and I'm going to go back and watch it again, and let's see what I can pull out. I like the choice to start with this kind of... it's giving me like an organ, but also almost like a pad on the keys. There's there's no attack to it at all, which is, to give an example, if I say, there's very, very minimal attack. There's a little bit there, but if I say, that glottal there, or da, there's a hard front. And that's not there. There's no attack to this at all. It just continues the sound and drifts in. And it kind of the same way that we drift out with the fade out at the end as well. And I like that. It kind of makes this sort of feel a little bit everlasting in a very cool way. And I think the choice to start on... the sky, the trees, it kind of feeds into that same atmospheric vibe that's going on there. But at the same time as that, we've got this sort of retro... I don't know if this was shot on an older camera or if it's just a retro filter that's been applied over the top, but you've kind of got this slightly washed out, slightly yellowy tone to it that speaks of older camera work. And I really love that blend. I think that altogether gives a very, very strong vibe to the opening of this. And then as we hear that there's a little bit of a crescendo there, but also I think there's maybe a bit of phasing that's being removed or something like that. But we're getting a bit more punch now on those the third and fourth notes, the second pair of chords that we go into there. Now we're getting a little attack, and it's pushing us into the song. It's just really, really smart opening for where the song is going. And there, I'm going to do a lot of stopping at the beginning of this because there's a lot of things that happen straight up front that feed through. But that one hitting in on the drums at that point, very, very cool, nice little riff going on there. But also the smash cut editing in time with that, really nice. Those 4 cut edits there with the piano keys coming straight after that drum fill. It's great because it gives us... It enhances the percussive effect of the music because your eyes are also going, oh, pow, 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 pow. We're switching very, very quickly between things here. And it's different to what we're going to get through a lot of this video. There's some unusual work done on the editing here, like having the sort of slider puzzle screen, if you like, of having Jen's face cut up into parts on screen by putting different frames around it and things like that. But this sort of smash editing in quick succession that we're getting here, this is kind of like a real abrupt kick into the song. And I like that we start with that because it allows... We've had that languid moment for the first few seconds, and now we punch into it and get moving. And it's almost like saying, okay, we've got a bit of a vibe here, let's go. That's cool. I like this, the way that this verse is constructed with this da 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 2, 3, 4, 1 Da, 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 da. It's just as much unsung as it is sung. There's that long gap where you have, new guitar chord, you have the percussion, but it's kind of like there's not much else going on there, and it's giving lots of moments of contemplation, which I feel is very, very appropriate to this song. It's a nice construction. It also lends itself to that slightly retro feel as well. I feel like that's a style of song we don't get quite so much anymore. I feel like there's a lot of drive these days, and so that fits really nicely. I also love in the editing choice, obviously we've got a compressed resolution here where it's more of a widescreen resolution, and not letterboxing it, but also seeing a bit of the frame above that letterbox as well, rather than just cutting it off. It adds to the retro feel rather than just making it feel like a widescreen video, which would have been an easy thing to do. This is a little something extra, and I think it's a really smart choice.
I'm breathing in some kind to love because of you. I'm tired of tears.
There's a lot of smart things going on with this. I like the cut that we have the two different scenes where Jen is singing are both lying down. You're seeing them from different angles, one from the side, one from the top, but it connects them in a way. Even though they're two very different color schemes, there's a difference in the warmth of the actual shot itself. The outdoor shot is a lot cooler, the indoor shot is very warm. So there's some variety going on here, but there is consistency that runs through it, and that gives a lot to the video in terms of making it feel very, very cohesive, but allowing you to do a lot in the process, and I like that.
I'm tired of tears. I'm tired of rain. Only you. My calls echo. The sound of pain.
Oh, I love that chord there, the lead into the pre-chorus. Excellent choice. I really, really like the musicality of this. I think there's something in the simplicity of just having these guitar chords holding under a line, changing, holding under the next line, changing, that sort of thing. It's an effective way of moving through the chord sequence without interrupting. There's nothing that's kind of getting in the way of the music at this point. We can pick stuff up later, sure, that's fine. We don't need it right now. We're letting the melody speak for itself, and we're letting Jen's voice speak for itself. Speaking of which, I'm loving hearing this low resonance coming from Jen. It's really, really gorgeous. Very, very versatile voice. We obviously get that nice little bit of belting at the end, but I think it's lovely in this song that we build up to that and we earn it at the end. It's not something that kind of comes and hits you in the face right at the very beginning. This is quite chill. This is very comfortably within her range. There's nothing, there's no pushing going on. It's a very natural sound, and it's fairly conversational. There's obviously a strong melody going on here, but the lilt, the way that it moves up and down, has a conversational feel to it, and that makes it feel a little bit more intimate, and I like that too. I think there's a lot of very cool things going on here.
The sound of pain. The last one on your mind.
That's just a fascinating editing choice to me. This is really, really cool. Like, you've obviously got the bottom row of the way the face has been constructed, one to the left, one to the right, but also, the way that it connects is not. It's not like everything's just shifted. It's very broken up. And I think that fits with this concept of last one on your mind, because if something's in your mind, you don't remember it precisely. And, if it's only in your mind, and I'm not saying that's where we're going with this, but just as a tangential concept, something that is only in your mind is remembered a little bit fragmented, which is why if you talk to 5 different people, a week after an event that they were all at, they'll all remember it slightly differently, and they'll all focus on different things. And I kind of love this as a visual conceptualization of that idea. I don't know if that's what the target was here. I could be so far off piste, but that's what it's saying to me in a way that I really enjoy. So, I don't know. But I think it's a really cool concept, and I think it fits, in my mind at least, it fits the nature of this song really well.
The sound of pain. The last one on your mind. After all is done.
I really like the decision there to keep that backing vocal holding on.
Last one on your mind.
You can see even, you can hear, but you can also see when I'm going to carry on with my terminology. If there's lots of somebody on screen or in vocals, I talk about Prime so-and-so as being the core soloist of the song. Prime Jen, if you like, who is the person who's being represented on screen here, you can see her cut off mind. And yet the backing vocals hold it on a little bit longer and drift into the next line. And I really like that. It gives an ethereal quality to that line that I think really suits it.
The last one on your mind. After all is done, before darkness comes. The last one on your mind.
And I think that whole concept of fragmented memory and that sort of thing, it feeds nicely into the video as well. We see, a lot of the time, we see Jen obscured in some way, shape, or form through branches, just her hand on the leaves. Like, we see bits and pieces. You don't necessarily see the whole at any given moment. And I think that is a really interesting idea to play with this song.
Comes. The last one on your mind. There's no reason to forget all we've been through. There's nowhere else to hide. Maybe I'm mistaken. Felt my heart breaking. The last
This is so good. My heart breaking, broken up. Music matching what the lyrics are saying. Is that cohesion is delightful. I really, really like that. I like that she goes a little higher at that point as well. We're halfway through that chorus, push up a little bit, but we're not going into a belt. We're still keeping the vocal tone very relaxed, which is nice. It feeds into this. We're not evolving the song past this quite yet. We're not there. We haven't reached that point in the storytelling of the song. So I really, really like that. That's a really nice decision too.
maybe I'm mistaken. Felt my heart breaking. The last one on your mind. After all is done, before darkness comes again. Take me away.
That's such an interesting choice as well. That last note, I couldn't remember if we were going somewhere, but
Is done, before darkness comes again.
comes again. We're going to hang there and the chorus is going to finish on a second. We're not going to settle back down here, which is what you might expect. I love that choice to leave it hanging. That's really, really nice. I love, that small. One of the things I really like, especially about this blue background scene, is the sort of micro expressions that we get, or the expressions that we get for a micro amount of time. And just the little curl of the lip into a smile right before we cut away from that shot is lovely.
Comes again. Take me away.
This shot is gorgeous, incidentally. Again, concept of last one on your mind. Where is she? She's way off in the distance, like being a part of this tunnel. Like there she is. She's there in if you walk, you're going to walk straight down towards her, but she's not close to the screen. She's off in the distance. Really, really nice choice of shot. And what a beautiful, these tree avenues are so pretty. And I love the way that we have the variety of light pooling in, and she's right at the back of that little pool of light there. That's really, really lovely framing. I think that's excellent work, lighting and framing and construction of this shot is really, really lovely. This choice to drop the percussion out completely and just have these guitar chords and have the singing over the top of that is really, really nice too, because it signals that we've changed into a new section, which in this case we're going back to the second verse. We're starting the verse pattern again, but we're doing something a little bit different with it. And I like that.
Take me away. Take me back home. Hard to be sure. Please make it known. Because I reach for you.
Really, really lovely choice of melody here, actually.
Hard to be sure. Back home. Away.
Take me away. We're leaving that up there. It's in the middle, sort of the slightly higher register, I guess, of where we're singing right now. And then you get this.
Take me back home.
Take me back home. We're lower. There's a more comfortable kind of quality to the voice at that point in time. Not comfortable in terms of ease of singing, but comfortable in terms of, it's comforting, maybe is the better phrase. Better word, rather. Lovely choice to drop down for that.
Hard to be sure. Please make it known.
Hard to be sure, left hanging, because it's, you're not, there's nothing certain about it. Please make it known, asking for security, asking for clarity. A little bit lower again. Really, really nice choice of where the melody's going based on what's being sung in the moment.
I reach for you. I reach too soon. Make out the noise. My mind's numb too.
I love this airy sort of quality that she goes to. I'm not going to represent it well. I don't have the control over my voice that she's got. But there's a very, very slightly airy quality that gives this whole thing a slightly... I used the word ethereal earlier, and I think that's still relevant. There's a slightly ethereal quality to it. It's got a drifting element to it that gives it a very... Laid back is the wrong phrase, but there's a gentleness to the singing in this that I think is really, really beautiful for the emotion that's being conveyed by the song.
My mind's numb too. The last one on your mind. After all is done, before darkness comes.
I also like the fact that we get these occasional cuts of guitar.
After all is done, before darkness comes. The last one on your mind. There's no reason to forget all we've been through. There's nowhere else to hide. Maybe I'm mistaken. Feel my heart break. Yeah, the last one.
Again, that lovely line, I spoke about it the last time, but the heartbreaking being broken up and that slightly higher note, and then the slow descent down I didn't comment on.
Been through. There's nowhere else to hide.
And then
Maybe I'm mistaken. Feel my heart break. Yeah.
We just gradually come down the scale throughout that line. Maybe I'm mistaken. Feel my heart breaking. As we descend, excuse me. As we descend through that, and it's and feel my heart. There's a little bump up there. Just the gradual line there. That's a beautiful line of this song. I really, really like that.
Maybe I'm mistaken. Feel my heart break. Yeah, the last one on your mind. After all is done, before darkness comes again. No longer blind, I see the truth inside your eyes, inside your heart.
So we get a little bit more push here, which is really nice as we go into the bridge. Immediately you can hear it in the drums. We have, instead of just a, you get that open hi-hat coming in here and there, which immediately pushes us a little bit more forwards.
No longer blind, I see the truth.
And obviously, ba ba da 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 da. We've immediately picked up the rhythm of the singing. The keys have come in with a bit more presence. There's a higher register going onto them as well, so they're standing out over the top of the arrangement a little bit. Really, really nice changes here that just they energize it without pushing us out of the realm of where we already are, which I think is really nice.
No longer blind, I see the
We get that. I like the fact that you get badum and that the open hi, slightly open hi. And when I say open hi-hat, so for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, this cymbal here is the hi-hat. And for anyone who doesn't know drums terribly well, just so you understand what I'm referencing, that cymbal, not only could you hit it, obviously, but if you can just see the lip here, and I'm sure you've seen them before, it's two cymbals inverted that can be open or closed. So you either have an open hi-hat, in which case you hit it and it rings like a cymbal does. It's smaller than most usually, and so it's a slightly higher pitched sound. Or you can clamp it shut and you get that. It's almost like a. It's very, very sort of stunted sound, very, very short. Or you could have it so that it's just open and they kind of rattle against each other and it gives a little bit more of an open sound. That's all controlled by a foot pedal. The drummer's left foot will be on the hi-hat pedal, holding it down or letting it open as they wish. One of the sort of early skills you want to master as a drummer is knowing how to control the hi-hat independently of what you're doing with your hands. But we get that little sort of the slightly open hit right before it's the upbeat, in fact the half upbeat into the beginning of the bridge, and so there's just that little hint through that drum for the that at that point in time that pushes us forward. So the hint is there already that we're about to move, and it's the tiniest little thing, but it's one level of preparation for the ear before you move into a new section, and I really, really like that. I also love the doubling in the vocals, by which I mean they've sung Because of You before in the verses, but only once. And now you have it because of you, whatever the melody is. But you get it twice in a row, and so it's filling out the sound a little bit more, just like everything else is. It's in the vocals as well. I really like that. There's a little bit more, just a touch more of a push in the voice. It's a very slight one, but it also that airy quality that was there has been reduced significantly, and so the voice also sounds a little stronger. Jen's giving it a little bit more here in a way that differentiates this from the verse that we've been listening to so far. I really like that too. Oh. I'm not quite that much, but just that little tiny growl in the background there, that's nice. I like that so much because we build up, but we don't go all the way. You and only, sustaining that note while the chords are shifting up there underneath, and then it could kind of go into a big like belt wail at that point in time, but we're back down here, and it's got softer again, and now we pull back a little back to where we're back at the level we were at for the chorus beforehand, and I love coming back into that at that point. This is just the build into this, and then that gentle tail off at the end is lovely. And now we're getting that evolution. So we're back into the chorus again, but now the guitar is playing a little bit more in the background, both over the top of the vocals and also in the gaps in between. And it's sort of starting to push us towards an ending now. We can sense that evolution has ticked up as we come out of the bridge. This is really nice. After all is done, before darkness comes, the last line on your mind. There's no reason to forget all we've been through. There's nowhere else to hide. And now that hide, I haven't got anything up there right now, but it's a bit more of a sort of powerful note. We're still not really going for it, but it's just we're picking everything up a little bit. It's lovely. And now you can hear it, that quality coming through. There's more commitment to it. From a character commitment perspective, obviously the voice has been fully committed the whole way through, but you could hear there's a bit more of a push there. There's a bit more clarity, and we're staying up there. We're way up. Last one on my mind, and we're sticking up in that register a little more rather than coming back down again a little bit more quickly as we had done previously. Lovely stuff. And so now she starts to mess with her own melody a little bit, and as we fade out through this next sort of, almost a minute, there's lots of variety being offered in how things are being sung, and this is lovely. This is what I like hearing in a fade out is a little bit more variety going on, some things to listen to that warrant the repeat. It's not just the same thing again and again. And the lovely darkness comes. The little sort of dip there on that note comes. I can't do that. I don't have the control that Jen's got. But that's really, really nice. It's subtle, it's small, but just a little something dripped in. Yes. And in the process of this variety, now we're going up there where we're getting this sort of, it's not sort of super powerful belting, but just a little bit of a belt coming through at that point. That's really, really nice. And just that, she's got such a great quality when she goes up into that range of her voice. And I think it's perfect here because we've sung this point, we've said these lyrics, and so they can be said with a bit more passion at this point in time. And we're not pushing ourselves out of the vein of the song. It's something that's coming in over the top. Really, really lovely. Lovely. And I love that. At the end of that, it's that the control to bring that down to such a small sound again out of that belt, and it's such a natural pullback throughout that line. That's really lovely. And there's the guitar's doing stuff in the background, the bass is doing stuff in the background, the drum has a couple of fills, little tiny fills here and there. Like, things are just shifting as we go through this, and it's giving us this awesome kind of mixture of sounds that we're just sort of, it's like we've got this core that's going through that we recognize, and this stuff just kind of going on around it, just kind of pushing and pulling a little bit and giving us some, enhancing the vibe even further. Great stuff. Yes. I love that's such a nice line at that point. There's just that pure emotion in the vocals. Right? I mean, that last, that's just, it's amazing. And it almost starts out just like a wail and then resolves into the last at the last minute as we go back into Last One on My Mind. It gets so good. Oh, Ian just shredding in the background. I love it. And yet, within the boundary of what the song can accept, it doesn't feel out of place in any way. Again, I love these small expressions, just that glance to the side. So good. So good. Well done, Jen. That's an awesome song. I really, really like that. I love that. I love the vibe. I love the retroness of it. And I love the construction, musically speaking. That always vocal front first all the time. And yet there's so much going on that doesn't distract, but you're aware that it's happening. And I think that's a really good blend to strike. So again, coming back to kudos to the mixer for doing a really, really good job of balancing that so that you could have these kind of crazy guitar solos going on. And your mind knows they're happening, but they don't blow out the vocals. You could choose to drift away and listen to them if you want to, but they don't force your hand, which sometimes can happen. And you get to that point where it's just like, well, I can't listen to the vocals now because this thing is making it imperative for me to focus on it. That's not happening. And I really, really like that. Fantastic. Great song. That's definitely something I'm going to listen to again. And I think It's made me excited to hear more of that album and Jen stuff in general. I think it's a really cool style that she's gone for there. That I haven't heard that sort of thing for a while, certainly not from a contemporary artist, and it makes me excited to hear more. So yeah, very, very glad I looked at that one. Thank you. I asked Jen, I said, is there something you'd like me to have a look at if I'm coming in and listening to your stuff for the first time? What's good? And this was her recommendation. So thank you for that, Jen. I appreciate it. Really, really enjoyed myself. And I hope that you folks did as well. I hope that I was able to bring something to you, whether it was Jen herself or the song. Go and, as I said before, link in description. If you haven't seen Jen before in any capacity, also check out her YouTube channel, because she does reactions and does really, really good ones. She's one of the first folks I saw back in the day who I kind of went, oh, this is a cool thing to do. I really enjoy watching her videos to this day. So go check her out. And maybe you've seen this a bunch, and hopefully I was able to bring something to you if that's the case, whether it was just something that you hadn't noticed before or something that explains why you like that bit so much. I don't know. It's whatever I've managed to bring to the table. I hope you've taken something from it, and if you have, I'm a very happy man. That's what I'm kind of driving for with all of this. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I really appreciate the time you spend with me, especially if you're still here at the end of the video. Please do hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you would care to support the channel, you can do so by going to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can leave a one-off donation of any amount or contribute to my wishlist item, which is currently a new subscription for Adobe Premiere. I'm on borrowed time with the one I have right now. You can head to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, where you can sign up for $2 or $4 Canadian or your regional equivalent. And that's just ongoing support of the channel and gives you access to my Discord and maybe hopefully some more stuff towards the end of the year. I'm working on that. And you can leave a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those very, very gratefully appreciated if you would choose to do so. That's it for now. I'll be back with another reactor response. No, not response. I'm not responding to something, but a reaction to a reactor. Next week. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, whatever time it happens to be. Let's go for 6:21 p.m. See if somebody's watching then. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.